Steve Crowder joins us every week for Louder with Crowder. We'll get to him in a few moments because I have a feeling he may just have one or two comments about what happened last night. Before that, let's have a look at this, please.
I so wish that I had been able to fulfill your hopes to lead the country in a different direction, but the nation chose another leader, and so Ann and I join with you to earnestly pray for him and for this great nation. Thank you, and God bless America. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
It's gracious. What else could he say? I mean, you'd rather like someone at one point to say, you know what, I can't stand that guy. It should have been me. And indeed, Barack Obama's speech was quite inspiring in its own way, but I don't believe a word of it when he said, you know, black and white and gay and straight, because the gay community is so important. 2% of people really, really do matter. Handicapped, and I don't think he meant that. This is a man who'd previously said, the way to get revenge is by your vote. I think he's a divisive character. However, we do move forward. And it's no good saying, well, I don't think the Electoral College is correct. It is correct. And I think it was about the hurricane. So what? One group won and one group lost. Steve joins us by Skype now. Steve, what happened?
There's so many things that happened. Listen, I want to give a word of encouragement to conservatives out there. If you've been following on Twitter, a lot of them are going off the deep end, saying they're switching their whole portfolio to gold, which is a terrible idea, or they're buying hybrid seeds. This is not the end, okay? Our unalienable rights, as per the Constitution, have not been given to us by man, which is why I don't put all of my faith and hope in one, even one like Mitt Romney. As a believer, this is just my personal opinion, I believe we've made some mistakes, but God is still in control, and we know how this ends. A lot of conservatives, too, right now are very mad about the gloating online, which, here's the thing. I don't find it surprising, the kind of vitriolication we see from the left right now. Again, you're talking about the same people who personally sought out Andrew Breitbart's now fatherless children to mock them after their father had died. So it doesn't bother me. What I say to people out there, if you're upset by the gloating, let the left gloat, let them overreach, let them show themselves for who they truly are, and have your retweet finger ready. Have your iPhone camera ready, because right now, for the next 4 years, when we maintain transparency, when all cameras are on, when all microphones are on, we win.
Well, you say that. I mean, maybe I'm a bit cynical, but it seems to me that right and left can be equally dishonest. And although the left seems to be particularly good at being insulting and abusive these days, the right occasionally indulges. But how can the Republicans win an election? If you look at the demographic, I mean, I think that what they have to do is radically change their policy on immigration and the Hispanic vote. I don't think they're going to change the black vote. White evangelicals are not suddenly going to increase by 100%. So unless you can win the Hispanic vote, 3 or 4 swing states will simply never go Republican again.
Well, listen, the big reason Mitt Romney won the first debate is for the same reason that I would slightly disagree with you. It was the first time that Mitt Romney was able to talk over the head of the media, straight to the American people. The Latino vote is inherently very conservative.
Yeah.
The problem here is the culture war and the media war. And here's the thing that conservatives do very, very badly. To use a boxing analogy, leftists are flicking a jab. They're playing this as a fight going the distance. Comedy Central, they're flicking the jab. SNL, they're flicking the jab. All of Hollywood, they're flicking the jab. All of the mainstream media, they're flicking the jab. Whereas conservatives are largely irrelevant in the culture war, which is the most effective way to manage your messaging, and we don't use it. And so what happens is we're behind on a scorecard, and then the 15th round, we're looking for that Rocky Marciano overhand right punch, which is at this point in the analogy, we're looking for some transcendent political figure to save us, whether it's Sarah Palin or Mitt Romney. It doesn't work that way. We've been trying to Rocky Marciano this thing. We need to be pulling a Larry Holmes. We need to be playing the long fight, and that really means that it's pivotal that we are relevant in the cultural war, in the media war. That's what really affects people's perception. And we saw a glimpse of what can happen when we can go directly to the people and talk with them with Mitt Romney in the first debate. That's what happened there. That's why Twitter is so important. Facebook is so important. Listen, God gave us free will. He gave us Andrew Breitbart. We know the blueprint on how to win this thing, okay? No excuses. Let's go forward and do that. And I do understand what you're saying about the demographics. I don't think it's permanently changed. Demographics shift. Just like the economy is not one piece of the pie, you can build more pies. Demographics change. As people get older, they become more conservative. As they become more politically educated, they become more conservative. And that's especially true of the Latino vote for people who are generally diehard Catholics who socially couldn't be further to the right.
Well, I'm going to wrap my monologue about this for tomorrow because I feel very strongly that The black population, I mean, it's tragic in many ways, but in percentage, in real terms, it's shrinking because of inner city violence, drug use, AIDS, abortion. The white vote is what it is. The Hispanic vote, the Latino vote, is going to become increasingly affluent, more politically active, and simply larger through both legal and illegal immigration, and still fairly large families. As you said earlier, they are naturally morally conservative, not liberal. They're not tied to any one particular party. Bush did quite well in this area. I'm afraid the Republicans this time did not do well. If you hold on to some very right-wing Tea Party types in certain states who really want to bash Latino voters, you are not going to win that vote back. You can win Virginia, you can win Florida, you can win all sorts of states if you get these people on your side. They will be probably a quarter of the country within our lifetime.
I would disagree with your language there, Michael. I know this rarely happens, but Latino voters, we're not talking about Latino voters. We're not bashing Latino voters. We're talking about illegal immigrants, people who shouldn't be capable of voting anyway. And also, I would say, you talk about how Bush did very well and Mitt Romney did very poorly with these people. Well, what's the real difference in policy from those two when aimed towards illegal immigrants? They're strikingly similar, which again gets me back to my point that it's not about where these people stand, which would line up with many more voters. It's about what the media tells the American public these people stand for. That's the real problem they're running into here. And you look at the messaging, you look at new media, you look at how effective Barack Obama has been. In 2008, we whisked into office a celebrity president, not a politician, and that's what's happened again this year. The guy did not get elected on his record. He did not get elected on where he stands, and it resonating with the American people. He was elected by the entertainment elite and the media machine in the United States. That's what happened. You look at the discrepancy between what people think Barack Obama says and does and what he actually does. They're not voting for the guy they're punching in on the ballot.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just before we let you go, I should explain to people that the look you have, it's not a political protest or anything. You're raising money in November for, what's the cause?
Well, it's for men's health. People can follow me on Twitter at @Crowder to read about it. But, of course, it's terrible. I'm supposed to grow this into a stash, and this looks like a teenager's leg hair or Yasser Arafat, take your pick. And the real problem is, of course, my wife hates this. And contrary to popular belief here, Michael, I do enjoy relations with my wife. So at this point, it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. I may not make it through the whole month.
Well, good luck with it. Take care, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Ron Doyle is up next. And liberal America, is it really becoming more permissive and progressive? Let me smoke and think about that one.